Good, happy Tuesday morning, March 3rd, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. We have a lot of stuff to give you this morning, so let's get started. Rise and shine, everyone. Let's get this Tuesday morning off to a good start. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy this morning edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire's Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. We're going to begin with your news first. We're going to start off with local news. In local news this morning, New Hampshire health officials confirm first positive case of coronavirus in state. Patient who is employee of Dartmouth Hitchcock Health in self-quarantine at home. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
New Hampshire's first patient with a presumptive case of COVID-19 coronavirus did not return to work at Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center in Lebanon, instead reporting mild symptoms after a trip to Italy and quarantining at home.
This is not an instance we believe that represents wider spread community transmission. And so our public health agency, with support of multiple other state agencies and the governor's office and the congressional delegation, will be working tirelessly to investigate this most recent identification and to identify any potential susceptible contacts who may need to themselves be placed under self-quarantine.
While the patient stayed away from Dartmouth Hitchcock, the medical center has initiated its incident command center.
We set up incident command for anything that's going to present a risk to the patients, the employees of the institution, and or the public. It involves probably 20 individuals with their areas of expertise specific to the issue that we're addressing.
And now the City of Manchester opened its own emergency operations center to make sure schools, businesses, hospitals, including the VA, even the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, are all reporting any issues and are prepared.
We've been working on plans around pandemics predating 2001, actually. And so a lot of those plans have evolved over time and really meet the needs of any infectious agents that we may be threatened with.
And the Manchester Health Department says it's important for businesses and schools to help people stay home when they're not feeling well. Tom.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Today is Super Tuesday. A bunch of states in the United States will be going to the voting polls today to vote. Let's take a listen to that video about what makes Super Tuesday so important and how did it start. Let's take a listen to the video from Jared Hill.
What's the deal with, actually, this video is going to be a little different because we are talking about Super Tuesday. Now, it's not X-ray vision or super strength that gives Super Tuesday its power in the fight for the nomination. This is about delegates, the people who actually vote on the nominee at the party's national conventions. White House hopefuls pick up pledged delegates when we vote for the candidates during the primaries and the caucuses, and Super Tuesday is the biggest single-day delegate grab of the entire season. In 2020, Alabama, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Maine, Massachusetts, Minnesota, North Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, American Samoa, and any Democrats living overseas all vote on the same day. This makes up more than a third of the delegates that these candidates are fighting over. Now, winning Super Tuesday doesn't mean, bam, you win the election. The numbers just don't work that way, but it definitely can be a big help. Since there's no national primary, Super Tuesday. Guys, that's enough. Super Tuesday includes so many different states that it ends up being a good test of how most members of the party feel about the candidates. All right, time for a quick origin story. Super Tuesday, as we know it, has only been around since the 80s. That's when a bunch of southern states banded together to try and nominate a more moderate candidate. Their attempt was futile, but ever since, varying groups of states have joined forces to try and pack a punch in the early primaries. While their track record for picking the eventual nominee is a bit inconsistent, the Super Tuesday powers on. And that's the deal with, sure, one more time, Super Tuesday. That ain't gonna happen.
Okay, and there you go. And here is a look at the states that will be voting today in Super Tuesday. And the states are Maine, Massachusetts, Vermont, Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma, AR, Minnesota, Colorado, Utah, and California. Those are the states that will be voting today for Super Tuesday. And this evening we will have special coverage of Super Tuesday beginning at 7 o'clock p.m. right here on the Riley King Network. Hopefully you can join us for that. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's talk about some more national news. Nashville tornado live updates. 6 dead as twister rips through city and suburb. The National Weather Service urged people to take immediate cover. At least 6 people have been killed, 3 in Putnam County, 2 in East Nashville, and 1 in Benton County, after a devastating tornado ripped through Nashville in the early hours of Tuesday morning, with authorities saying many others being injured and multiple businesses and homes flattened. We will be sure to update you on this as it still develops. Also, we're gonna switch gears and go into another national news story. Chris Matthews announces retirement on Hardball on MSNBC last night. Let's watch that video.
Let me start with my headline tonight. I'm retiring. This is the last Hardball on MSNBC, and obviously, this isn't for lack of interest in politics. As you can tell, I've loved every minute of my 20 years as host of Hardball. Every morning I read the papers, and I'm gung-ho to get to work. Not many people have had this privilege. I love working with my producers and the discussions we have over how to report the news. And I love having this connection with you, the good people who watch. I've learned who you are, bumping into you on the sidewalk or waiting at an airport and saying hello. You're like me. I hear it from your kids and grandchildren who say, my dad loves you, or my grandmother loves you, or my husband watched it till the end. Well, after conversation with MSNBC, I decided tonight will be my last Hardball, so let me tell you why. The younger generations out there are ready to take the reins. We see them in politics, in the media, in fighting for their causes. They are improving the workplace. We're talking here about better standards than we grew up with, fair standards. A lot of it has to do with how we talk to each other. Compliments on a woman's appearance that some men, including me, might have once incorrectly thought were okay. We're never okay. Not then and certainly not today. And for making such comments in the past, I'm sorry. I'm very proud of the work I've done here. Long before I went on television, I worked for years in politics, was a newspaper columnist, an author, I'm working on another book. I'll continue to write and talk about politics and cheer on my producers and crew here in Washington and New York and my MSNBC colleagues. They will continue to produce great journalism in the years ahead. And for those of you who have gotten into the habit of watching Hardball every night, I hope you're going to miss me because I'm going to miss you. But remembering Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca, we'll always have Hardball. So let's not say goodbye, but till we meet again.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from...
Okay, and there you go on that video. And all of us here at the Riley King Network will miss Chris Matthews and the show Hardball. Good broadcaster in the broadcasting industry. And that does it for all of your news, your local and national news. Now we're going to switch gears and go into weather. Your weather right now is fair, 31 degrees. And here's a look at the hourly forecast. 7 a.m., sunny, 34 degrees. 8 a.m., sunny, 37 degrees. 9 a.m., sunny, 42 degrees. 10 a.m., mostly sunny, 46 degrees. 11 a.m., partly cloudy, 52 degrees. And 12 p.m., partly cloudy, mostly cloudy, 54 degrees. And your weather for today, a mix of clouds and sun early, followed by cloudy skies this afternoon. High 57 degrees, winds southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into traffic. And here's a look at your morning traffic map this morning. And in traffic, in Henniker, you're seeing some smooth sailing. Hopkinton, smooth sailing. Bow, Pembroke, Concord, smooth sailing. Chichester, smooth sailing with some medium and slow pace traffic. Epsom as well, smooth sailing with some medium and slow pace traffic. Northwood, medium and slow pace traffic with some smooth sailing. Lee, medium pace traffic. Durham, medium pace traffic with some slow traffic and smooth sailing. Rochester, smooth sailing. Then in between Rochester and Somersworth, we have an incident. Road closed due to accident on New Hampshire 16B Old Dover Road eastbound from Tibbetts Road in Whithouse Road. Somersworth, smooth sailing. Dover, smooth sailing. Portsmouth, smooth sailing. Maine, all smooth sailing. Rye, smooth sailing. Northampton, smooth sailing. Hampton, smooth sailing. Seabrook, smooth sailing. Into the border, Massachusetts. 101, a great ride on 101. All smooth sailing on 101. Hooks at Manchester area, all smooth sailing. Near the Manchester airport, smooth sailing. Bedford, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Amherst, smooth sailing. Milford, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Merrimack, smooth sailing. Nashua, smooth sailing into the border of Massachusetts. Nashua, Milford, smooth sailing with some medium pace traffic. Manchester, Londonderry, Windham, Salem into the border of Massachusetts, all smooth sailing there. And that is your traffic this morning. Not too bad on the roadways, but if you do come across a serious traffic issue, let us know. We like to hear from you about that. We're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire life. And let's take a look at your upcoming events for today. Lamont Gallery presents Cut Up / Cut Out, 9 o'clock a.m. at Lamont Gallery. MOA UNH opening reception, 10 o'clock a.m. at UNH Museum of Art. Preschool story time at 10 o'clock a.m. at Manchester City Library. Mushroom speaker Stephanie Doyle, hosted by the Colonial Garden Club of Hollis, 10:30 a.m. at Lawrence Barn. Free math assessment registration, 3 p.m. at Nashua Mathematics. And community night, 5 p.m. at Flatbread Company, Portsmouth. Portland Pie CO abruptly closes in Manchester. More than 30 people learned they were out of work when the Portland Pie CO on Elm Street abruptly closed Sunday after a decade of doing business downtown. If you want to read more about that, we will share a link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Dunkin' giving away free donuts on Fridays in March. Dunkin' announced on Monday that it will give away free donuts on Fridays through the month of March. The Canton-based coffee chain is offering DD Perks members a complimentary donut with the purchase of any beverage beginning Friday, March 6th. Members can enjoy favorites such as a Boston cream, glazed chocolate, strawberry frosted with sprinkles, and the Lucky Shamrock donut. Donut lovers are not currently DD Perks members can enroll for free on the Dunkin' app or ddperks.com. And switching gears now, let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news, Bachelor Peter Weber on his complicated relationship with Victoria F. exclusive. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
I don't want easy, I want crazy.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Peter, why do you want crazy?
I don't want crazy.
Peter, you
I
said you
promise
did.
That's Hunter Hayes saying that. That's not me. I was just singing along the lyrics, okay? Listen, our relationship with Victoria, it was very real. There was a lot of crazy there. I think I said once with Hannah Brown, like a little bit crazy is fun, just a little bit, not a lot, I swear.
Well, watching things back with Victoria, a lot of people have said, look, this is really dysfunctional. How are you feeling watching it back? Anything you would do differently? What's just your take on it?
I think you saw a relationship there that definitely required a lot of work, and we could have definitely easily given up really early on, and it would have been a lot easier for probably the both of us, but I think there's something beautiful in that we didn't. And even though there's a lot of opinions about people that think we should never have been together, we fought and fought and fought, and I think till the end, even though it wasn't us in the end, I thought there was something beautiful of that relationship and what it got, the point it got to, and what we learned about ourselves, and just being able to communicate a lot better. I really appreciate it.
This is really good for us.
It's been probably the best. Victoria F. surprised everybody tonight. She came in communicating clearly, speaking her mind.
She's learned a lot.
We loved watching it. How did you feel seeing what kind of felt like a different woman out there?
Yeah, that was a very beautiful thing for me to see. And there's, even if maybe you don't find your person throughout this, it's only going to work for hopefully two people. There's a lot to be learned, and I feel like I learned a lot too. But seeing that with Victoria, it made me so happy to see her in a good spot. And, she deserves love just like every single person here.
Let me ask you also about Victoria F. How did you guys as a group of women feel having watched her and Peter have kind of a dysfunctional level of communication?
It's crazy because in the house, me and Victoria were really close. I love that girl, and how she presented herself today, is amazing. That's exactly who I know she is. So when I was watching it back, I was just like, wow, what's happening? And you can see that it's a struggle for her, and that she is trying to put up those walls. But she did. I'm happy with how she handled herself today. She did amazing. She did amazing.
Well, let me ask you too. Something that wasn't brought up, but you being friends with her, and she apologized for it on social media. But the White Lives Matter thing.
I honestly don't think that she had an idea that was what it was. I've never had anything with her. And clearly even with her, she's not blonde hair, blue eyed, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just I never got anything from her in a sense of where I was offended by her at all, ever. And so I just don't think that she, it was unintentional.
I think that Victoria F is just one of those people that, communication's hard. And communication's hard for everybody. It's just a very difficult thing. Nobody likes being put in uncomfortable situations. And sometimes communicating your emotions and your feelings is really hard. And so in this environment, it's even harder. So I can't fault her. And I'm really proud of Peter for being so patient with her and really taking the time to be listen, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're feeling. Just talk to me. Victoria Fuller is an incredible woman and is one of my close friends, and so I'm really proud of her for tonight. And I think the rest of the world will be too.
I mean, I think we were all just so surprised because she communicates quite well. Did you know she had that in her? What happened during filming of the show?
I'll say that many of us, I think, when the cameras are around and there's a lot of pressure and everyone's dating the same guy, it's really easy to kind of fall back. I know for myself, in times of confrontation, I just was like, and you see that on camera. You know, it's hard to address everything and to be completely wholesome.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into celebrity birthdays. And let's take a look and see which celebrities are celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they all have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful Tuesday. And thank you for joining us for this morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. I hope you all enjoyed watching. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. I'll see you back here later on today for Good Evening New Hampshire. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Goodbye.